An unlikely pair delivered a message of hope to a group of troubled teens. Thanks for joining us. I'm Evelyn Taft. The victim of a hate crime and former skinhead from Los Angeles paid a visit to the Los Petros Boys Camp off Highway 154 today. KCOI CBS 12's Liberty Chan has the story.
These boys have all been in trouble with the law, but they're here at Los Prietos Boys Camp to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Here recently in camp, probably like 2 weeks ago, I made a decision to stop gangbanging. You could ask anybody in here.
This 18-year-old is a former gang member. While he recently made the decision to stop, today's visit from these two men helped seal the deal.
I definitely learned racism from certain things that had happened in my life.
Timothy Zaal is a former skinhead and was the shot caller of a white supremacist gang for years. After he became a father, he left behind his racist past and started working at the Museum of Tolerance in L.A. That's where he met Matthew Boger, a gay man and former hate crime victim of Zaal's.
26 years ago, I was a victim of Tim, who was a former white racist. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, Tim thought he left a 13-year-old dead in an alley. 26 years later, while we're both working at the Museum of Tolerance, we've discovered who we were to each other back then, in which he was the perpetrator of that hate crime.
While their reconnection was initially shocking, the two became friends. Now they share their story of violence and hate in hopes of inspiring forgiveness and understanding.
This is not a gay-straight issue that I am trying to address. It is an issue of an intolerance and prejudice.
And I think respect, too, is very important. Respecting people for who they are. And I've learned to respect people as individuals rather than as a group.
And for these young men, Zaal and Boger's story could be the spark that lights the fire to change.
It shows you can come from a pretty hard background and make a complete turnaround and show that there is hope out there.
I just decided to change my life. I don't want to be like this no more. This thing's too old for me. I just want to live peacefully, have family. Hopefully I'm going to go to college and just move on with my life. I'm tired of this gang violence, racial stuff. It's just getting too old.
And the two men have shared their story on national television. CNN's Anderson Cooper 360, The Oprah Winfrey Show, and ABC's 2020 all featured their story.